Okay, welcome back everybody. This
Here we
is
are.
Fight Feed episode 3. We're just coming out the weekend of the UFC 250 again in the Apex Centre. What a weekend it was. There's
Phenomenal.
plenty to talk about today, I think.
Definitely.
We've got a lot. Obviously that was a cracking night for bantamweight division and quite a wee bit's happened since actually. And there's a wee set up for the Fight Island. We're now talking about fights that are just about to be made, which is also good. There's news of more fights getting made, and yeah, I mean the UFC was a cracking weekend as well for the UFC. So I think the best place to start would be let's go back to the weekend,
Okay.
go through the fights, just a wee bit of a recap of what happened,
Let's do
and
it.
let's see if our predictions were right as well from
I
last
think they
time.
weren't far
because
off, by the way.
I feel as a few of them were pretty. I think we might have only got one wrong for the main card.
I think you got one.
I got one wrong.
them
You
all
got them all right. I got one wrong from the main card. You got them all right.
I didn't put a bet on though. I wish I had.
I know. We're not betting people though, are we, really?
Nah, I'm not a betting
We don't
man.
do a lot of betting.
Not a
We
betting
don't do a
man.
lot of betting. So
I think I'd lose all my money if I was to be a betting man.
we could probably quite easily get too addicted,
Aye.
and then do you know what I mean? I think we'd just.
I
Probably
think that was a one-off, to be honest. I'm usually all over the place with my predictions.
Yeah. I know a lot of a lot of them were to be what we did expect, but I mean there was a couple of the way things went was a bit of a surprise.
Aye. I couldn't have predicted the way the fights finished.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, let's start at the bottom and then work our way up. So, obviously, the first fight of the main card to kick it off, we had Eddie Wineland and Sean O'Malley. Now, we did predict this right, that Sean O'Malley would get the win. I don't think any of us said first round KO, though.
Was it a first round?
That was a first round KO.
Was it?
I don't know what minute it was, but that was a first round KO.
He looked phenomenal.
I feel as if coming into that fight, he had a lot of I don't think he felt the pressure, but there was quite a lot of pressure because a lot of people were speaking like this is a massive opportunity for him. He's been given a decent fight on a really good card to make quite a statement, and even him himself was saying, "Yeah, I'm going to knock him out first round. I'm on a different level." So I feel as if sometimes when fighters do that, it almost puts a bit of pressure on them
Definitely.
to deliver. And
My God, did he deliver?
he just looked like so calm, collected, and just knew what he needed to do. So obviously it was a first round KO, pretty much just a walk away KO. That was something else, wasn't it?
See, when the fight finished, like the commentators were like, "That's probably the best walk-off KO we've ever seen."
Yeah.
They compared it to Mark Hunt's walk-off KOs.
Yes.
They said
Yeah.
it's even better than that, which
I feel as
is
if
quite
see
a
when you
statement.
do to be like that as well, and he didn't like overly celebrate either. He wasn't like going mental as if like
It's
that was
almost as if he expected it.
Yeah, I think that's it. It's actually like he expected it. It wasn't as if like, oh my goodness, I've actually just done that. The pressure's off. It was genuinely like, I've just done that. I've visualised that. I've seen that happening.
You
And
kinda
he
knew it was
just
gonna happen,
walks
aye.
off. But what a punch that was.
Unbelievable. What a way to start the
The
main,
main card. I mean, that's an amazing way. And I mean, it wasn't exactly like people are saying, oh, like it's a set up fight. He had a great opportunity to deliver there. I mean, that Eddie Wineland's been around for a long
he's a
time.
veteran.
He is like he's fought some of the best
But-
fighters in the UFC roster, and I mean, he could probably take a punch. I don't think he's ever really been stopped like that.
I don't think so.
So I mean, it wasn't exactly an easy fight.
No. That's some tash that guy's got in it.
It's quite. You could almost maybe like if you grew out, and I mean, maybe I could give that a bash as well.
Aye, you
Actually,
definitely got a
Could maybe-
shot. Aye. Mine's a bit ginger. His is
I did-
ginger and all right enough.
I like the tash, to be honest with you.
I
And it seemed to be
makes it a bit different.
when he was weighing in and all that sort of stuff. That's what he was doing, wasn't he? He was like,
That's it, he was loving it.
yeah, it was good. I like that. So good tash. Maybe not quite as good a chin.
Nah.
Not as good a chin.
Maybe you should grow the beard in the
Maybe
chin.
that's a cracking idea. Grow the
A
chin.
bit of cushion.
Aye, that's it.
When
We get
a shot lands in the chin.
But no, that was actually amazing. But like, I don't think Sean O'Malley was actually ranked before this fight. And is he ranked
No,
now?
he
In
wasn't.
fact,
He must be, surely.
okay. So the bantamweight rankings, can we see him at all? This can't be updated yet, because I mean Cody Garbrandt's still 9th. That can't be updated. No, that can't be updated because I would imagine he's definitely ranked now. He's got to be
Yeah.
in the top 15.
Surely.
Where do you think he goes from here now? Like, so who would you like to see him fight next? I mean,
I'd say he's got to be a top 10 guy, man.
I would say so. I think that was already like a step up
Aye.
in competition, but
Yep.
I think he's proved himself to be.
He looks sensational.
I think he'll be able to hold himself in the top 10.
I would say so.
At the same time, I don't think they should like chuck him into
Nah.
Like the top 5. I mean, we were both heard people talking like, oh, maybe he should fight Cody Garbrandt.
It's a bit of a step up too quick, I would say.
I would say that was like a 2.
String him out, man. Make him like a superstar.
It's exactly
You know what I
what
mean?
they've done before with people, you know.
He's got the potential to be massive.
He has got the potential to be
Like
massive.
a household name, I would say.
Both of us, like we were people, friends of ours that don't actually know the sport all that well. It's almost the same sort of buzz as
It is.
Conor,
It really
where
is.
people are asking us, who's this Sean O'Malley guy?
In fact, I got a message at the weekend there off one of my mates. I'll tell you exactly what he said.
Because
And
that's
it just
exactly
shows you, man. Like, people were intrigued by the guy.
it's exactly what the way Conor McGregor done it as well. It's like they're intrigued by the character and what he could potentially do. What's the
Friday night it said, just a random message, but even talking, because he obviously knows we covered the
Aye,
UFC.
yeah,
He
yeah.
said, "Who's this Showtime O'Malley kid fighting tomorrow?" That's
just
that's
out of
all
nowhere,
he said.
and he doesn't
Showtime.
and he doesn't actually watch UFC all that often.
No, he never watches.
Never watches UFC.
Never really watches it, but he stayed up and watched that fight just because that guy.
So like I mean they'll
He was
clearly
so intrigued by it.
yeah. So I mean, see if they were to chuck him, I reckon if they were to chuck him in against Cody Garbrandt or something like that, then now
Aye.
it could maybe show that he's like. I mean, it just isn't going to build him.
There's
Do
no
you know
need
what I
for
mean?
it. Give him the time that he needs.
Yeah, the chances
still
of
young.
him getting a knockout or something like that against Cody Garbrandt or anyone in the
See,
top
to be honest,
5
I
just
think
now.
he would actually hold his own, but it's just too soon for him, I would say.
Yeah,
Because he's almost 6 foot.
I know,
he's
and
long.
he's long.
He uses his legs
Yeah.
so well. Keep
Yeah.
the guys at distance.
There's not. I don't think there'll be many people as tall as that in that
Nah,
division.
Don't think so.
You know, and he's someone very like John Jones knows how to
Keep
use
people at distance.
that distance. You know what I mean? Having the long arms and knowing how to use it, I guess, is like it's a
Clearly works.
yeah. It's a hard thing to come by. Do you know what I mean? Like as soon as if you've got that length and then you find out how to use your distance and
Exactly.
use it well, it's clearly what he does. I mean,
100%.
I just feel as if he's got that like he's got that aura about him now, a bit like Conor McGregor.
He's
And I
shown
feel as
that,
if the way he actually fights quite reminds me of Conor McGregor as well in terms of the way like see all the spinning back kicks he does and stuff.
He's flashy.
Which I feel as if that might have been one of the first things that hurt
One of
that Eddie
was
Wineland.
Was it a body kick?
it was like a body kick, it was like a spinning back kick and he caught him in the body, and I think he said in his post fight interview he's like I could tell that hurt him to begin with, so that almost like was the beginning of the end.
Aye.
You know, but
It finished quite quickly after that. It was literally like 5
I
seconds
mean
after that.
that
wasn't
was
it? He almost took his head off with that other kick. The
Yeah.
spinning kick.
oh yeah,
Just missed.
yeah. I mean that was high like a knockout
It was
of.
beautiful.
I mean if he obviously didn't predict the future of what was going to happen in the next couple of fights,
Mm-hmm.
but you would think that was knockout of the night, no bother. You know,
no
you're
question
thinking,
until obviously later
Yeah.
on in the night what happened.
and he had the confidence as well. I guess when you feel probably the power that you've just caught that person with, he knew he was going down. He didn't have to follow up with
he knew
any ground or
fine well.
pound. He was just walked away. But extremely impressed with that.
It's a thing of beauty, that finish.
So I mean, see if you actually look at the top 10 just now, who would you have him fighting? I mean, Jimmy Rivera, he's been about for ages, bit of a veteran as well. I mean, could you put him in against someone like that?
Put him against any top 10 guys, I would say. And he would do.
Maybe just not top 5.
Maybe not top 5, top 10. So 6 to 10, who's there? It's
Six-
obviously going to have changed because Josie
Yeah.
Aldo's fighting for the
Josie
title.
Aldo's fighting for the title, which is a bit of a crazy situation.
Garbrandt's going to be up in the top 5 because he just defeated the
Cody
number
Garbrandt's
5.
got to be in the top 5. Rafael Assunção's probably going to drop down between 6 and 10. But
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't even. I don't know what he'd be like against even Assunção.
What about your boy?
Dominic Cruz.
That'd be a good one to obviously grow his brand.
Yeah.
I think he would.
He's got the potential. I think he's already rising, but he's got the potential of being a massive star,
Aye, he
like
does.
almost like Conor McGregor. Like he is. He's already bringing
People are
eyes.
asking about him.
Exactly,
They don't even
that
watch the sport.
Don't
do
really
you
know
know
the sport, but
Mm.
yeah, no, extremely impressed. And that was, I mean, he was out for like obviously he's been back, but he was out for 2 years as
Yep.
well, being so young, and he's
Aye.
dead. He, like, what is he? Is he 22, 23?
I think maybe 25, maybe.
Is he?
I could be top.
I thought he was maybe
No,
23.
Cody Garbrandt was 25 when he won the belt. That's
Was
what
he?
makes me think
I think he might be 23.
23.
So, I
Let's
think
check.
somewhere around that.
Let's check what age he is.
And that's young to be having that much eyes on you and having genuine like finishes like that, having
25.
performances like that. Is he 25?
25, 1994.
25.
That's still so young.
That's
though.
very young.
So
Extremely young. Extremely young. He's got a long time to keep going, learning.
So much time, and he looks unbelievable already.
Here, see, speaking about young fighters, in fact, there's one I wanted to, a fight that I wanted to speak about quickly was,
Chase Hooper.
Yes. Did you see this fight?
I never watched it.
Didn't watch it, right? Okay, well, I was actually quite intrigued by this Chase Hooper just because he looks so young, looks so fresh, like, and I was dead intrigued to see what he'd be like, and oh man, it was a bit of a.
Did he look good? No.
No,
Really?
No. It was a bit of a weird one. He was fighting quite like Ben Askren. Like, you know, where you just do what you need to do to try and get inside and just start grappling, and then so it's like you take quite a lot of punishment like on the way in, and it's like you've not got much defense going on. He was getting caught with all sorts. It was pretty crazy, and then like he would
That was his first loss as well.
and he would get inside, and I feel as if there was nothing there. Do you know what I mean? He would hang on, he'd cling on, but then just fall off, and then he started pulling guard like all the time, and it was just. Ah man, it wasn't. But I think he's again really, really young, and people are saying that maybe he'll grow into himself.
Yeah.
He's in the UFC, but no, I was extremely excited to see how that Chase Hooper would actually perform, because I'm thinking maybe this guy's extremely good at jiu-jitsu, and he's just going to like be one of these phenomenons that come in and just need to get hold of you.
He's not quite John Jones.
But no, it was quite mental. It was like.
Watch.
Yeah, it was just he was getting caught with everything on the way in. Do you know what I mean? Straight away, it was like jabs were like genuinely putting his head back and all that sort of stuff. It was.
He needs to work on his defense.
Yeah, I feel as if like, see if you're going to fight like Ben Askren or something like that. It's like even Ben Askren probably knew himself. You need to I think you need to have a bit of striking to at least be able to get in, close the distance, and then go to where you're good at.
That's
Do you know what I mean?
like Khabib, man. His striking's become pretty amazing over the past couple of years.
It has, and I think that's how's almost makes him so much harder to defeat.
That's
Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, okay, he's got striking as well. Like he can close that distance with his striking, and I'm not going to just catch him quite easily on the way in. But yeah, no, it was quite a weird one. I felt as if he was like, it just seemed he was getting caught with a lot.
Did you see that as well, man? That was heart wrenching. That.
Yeah, Cody
Stamen.
Stamen. That was
his younger brother died, 18 years old. Man.
I know. How do you even stay in camp when
Fair
that's
play to
happening?
that guy, man. You've got to take your hats off to someone.
And he got the victory, and probably one of the best fights of his career as well. Do you know what I mean? He put on some performance.
It was so sad. You see him straight after the fight. He just broke down.
It would generally just be a release. Do you know what I mean? Like, how do you stay going in your camp every day with that going on? Do you know what I mean? Like, lesser people would have cancelled.
I'd say 99% of people would have.
Yeah. No, I'm hoping he just carries on and starts making his way up now. That was a good performance.
Amazing.
Obviously, the next fight after Eddie Wineland and Sean O'Malley was Neil Magny and Rocco Martin. Now, we did say Magny. We had chose Magny for that fight.
I was going to choose Magny, but I chose Rocco Martin.
Oh, did
just
you?
to be on the other side.
Oh, so we were kind of like, so we were maybe even on that.
I think we were even.
So Magny, obviously went all the 3 rounds, got the decision, and it was a good performance from Magny. Just overall.
I never watched that fight. I watched every other fight on the main card.
Yeah,
I never watched that.
Well, we'll swiftly move on. Then. Neil Magny, it was just a good performance. He is just one of those people that, as it's like he struggles to get to the title, but he is like a good.
He's well-rounded
in that division. You know, I just feel as if maybe he just doesn't bring it on the certain fights that he obviously needs to take him further forward. Okay, but your next one, now this was going to be a big one for the bantamweight division, because between Aljamain Sterling and Cody Sandhagen. Now this was for pretty much what everyone thought would be
the winner of this fight.
Would be fighting the winner of Aldo and Peter Yan. Yeah, so that was kind of like. Going into this, that's what everyone thought. To be fair, this is where I chose Sandhagen over Sterling, and you've obviously picked Sterling. The reason I picked Sandhagen though is because I feel as if he was a new fighter coming up. His finishes and his just overall performances have been crisp as anything, you know, and there's maybe a bit of hype behind him at that time.
You were saying he's got all the fundamentals. He looks amazing all round.
He does. He did look amazing. He has been looking amazing all round. But Sterling just came in and
made
just
it look easy.
Done what he needed to do. Started so quick.
He got his back so nicely, man. Like he literally just basically hopped on his back.
As if he knew that was his plan.
And that was it.
Yeah, and because they were dry as anything, it just managed to actually keep it, hold on, and Sandhagen was trying his hardest to turn, but it just wasn't happening because they were so dry, and he had obviously the hooks in solid.
He looked flawless that fight, to be fair.
So the weird thing is obviously they're now thinking Aljamain Sterling will be the next, obviously, number one contender for whoever wins against, obviously, Peter Yan and Aldo.
Yeah.
But then, like, obviously I heard Chael Sonnen speaking, and he was talking, so, like, that fight was meant to be for the number one contender. But then there's a fight above them on the card, the co-main event, the same weight class. Cody Garbrandt was coming off of actually being champion. You almost think it's hard to fight for the number one. Like, it's hard to
I think
tell.
it's because they are ranked so much higher. Like Aljamain Sterling going into that fight, what was he? He was pretty high up in the rankings. I think that's probably why.
Yeah, and I feel as if he's been lingering about the top for
Like,
quite a while.
Number 2 ranked.
Yeah.
And that Corey Sandhagen is number 4.
Yeah, so I mean, Corey Sandhagen had everything going for him in that fight to take on the number 2. Do you know what I mean? If he was to win, that was obviously what was that would have made him really.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And Aljamain Sterling didn't have a lot to gain from that. It was just another fight to have to prove himself to be a contender.
And I think he's done that. He's definitely proved himself. He deserves a title shot.
100%. I think he looked amazing. He looked genuinely flawless. I mean, to do that against Sandhagen as well, I feel as if that's no easy feat. Do you know what I mean? He has it. He made it look easy, but I think he had his plan.
Yeah.
And what were you making of like the smaller octagon and stuff? I guess like
I think it was just that gave us more action.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? Like people had no choice but to go forward.
Especially with the big, like some of the bigger guys as well. Obviously in the bantamweight we had all the action, but even with some of the bigger guys, like within the Magny fight and things, it's just there's less
constant action,
less place to go. Yeah, you could almost like get away with obviously having that as just the base size of the octagon. Definitely,
it makes things more exciting. I think.
Imagine being in that octagon with Ngannou. No place to run. So Aljamain Sterling, we're thinking definitely to be. That he's got to be. To be fair, there was a massive argument for him to be fighting Peter Yan already without Aldo, but Aldo's obviously been promised
he definitely deserves it.
Yeah. Next fight obviously was Cody Garbrandt and Rafael Sunsao. Now both of us did say Garbrandt, didn't we? Yeah. We predicted Garbrandt, but that was just because, like, in my heart, I wanted Garbrandt to come back and be calm, cool, collective.
That's what we said. Like, if he comes back, he's made the adjustments. Like, he is more patient when he hurts his opponent.
Yeah, I think we said that. We're like,
get the victory.
We'll be able to tell in the first round.
And he did.
Which way it was going to
go.
Made
the adjustments. Do you know what I mean? Because he dropped them.
I thought Sunsao was going to be quicker. Genuinely, I thought Sunsao was going to be quicker. But I thought
Cody's in his own league, I think.
Yeah, no, I think
when he finished that fight, Joe Rogan was like, "There's no one faster in this sport."
No, I mean that's
how fast he is.
It was like a Sunsao was quick, but like it was so obvious the difference in speed.
It was,
it was actually quite unbelievable. I was like, this is actually unbelievable. A Sunsao actually looked sluggish compared to Cody. It was unreal.
He looked brilliant in that fight.
And even like in the first round, obviously he hurt him. Was it the first round or second round he hurt him?
I can't remember.
He actually hurt him and he pointed, but he didn't like rush in
which he usually does,
which he normally would. You know, maybe get caught with something. He actually just waited.
The only time he's not been like rushing for the finish was against Dominic Cruz.
Yeah,
because he dropped him a number of times.
He was
like pointing.
It was almost a performance like that where like almost looked like he was enjoying it. Didn't it?
He did. He was loving it.
He was absolutely loving it.
Element.
And then that finish,
unbelievable.
I mean, where did that punch even come from? That came
from the deck.
Yeah.
It was down at his ankle almost when he threw that punch.
That's just one of those punches that you would almost like throw,
like taking the piss almost.
You would be taking the piss with that punch. It's just like a total like winder right round, and it's like something that you would throw in like the playground or something like that, and it just caught right on the button.
Perfection.
I mean, it was generally almost right on the buzzer.
Yeah, let's see what. No, it was on the buzzer. It was literally as soon as he landed, the buzzer went.
A Sunsao might have not even hit the ground before the buzzer.
It literally says there round 2. 4 minutes 59.
Because when it very first happened, I was like, "Oh my goodness, does a Sunsao go back to his corner?" I wasn't like,
I wasn't sure because the buzzer went. I thought he'd just let him recover between the rounds and then go back in.
I wasn't sure quite how because it happened really fast, and I was like, "Oh wait a minute, is a Sunsao like able to get back to his corner? Was it just a flash knockdown?" And then genuinely, like he couldn't even sit.
I think it was no nonsense Keith Peterson that waved it off.
I think he's seen his face on the ground. He thought, right, okay, that is definitely a goner. And I mean, like they got a Sunsao back onto the stool, and he couldn't even like. He was even falling off the stool. It was
all over the
some knockout.
It was beautiful.
So, and then obviously that was just a walkaway knockout.
Stunning.
A walk off. Do you know what I mean? Like, so which one do you think was better? Was it
I'd say Cody's because it was so like that. It just came from nowhere.
Catching it from there, and
was
again
so-
against a Sunsal, doing that to a Sunsal.
Yeah.
I seen obviously in Cody Garbrandt's like post fight interview, that's what he was saying. He was getting there. Sunsal was pretty hard to close the distance on him, but keep him there. So like he said in the second round, he started trying to give Sunsal a wee bit of confidence, letting him come a wee bit further, and then that's kind of what he was setting up.
Right.
But I mean, that was just an unbelievable knockout.
You could watch that all day.
You could.
It was so nice.
I feel as if there was no better way for him to come back.
Nah.
He
What a
looks-
statement to make, man.
Aye, especially in that division that looks stacked at the moment. That kind of begs the question: who does Garbrandt fight next?
I was going to ask you the same question.
Let's take a wee look at the rankings, see who we can see him against. So Aljamain Sterling, I think he's going to be got to be fighting for the title next. You know who no one's really talking about now is Marlon Moraes. Now Marlon Moraes should probably, a lot of people should be thinking fighting for the title because I mean, technically he beat Aldo in that last fight. And it's like,
Did he not fight for the title against Cejudo though?
yeah, but he beat Aldo since then.
I suppose.
And it's like, now Aldo's fighting for the title. Bit weird. I guess it's maybe like a lot of people maybe just see what Aldo's done for the sport.
Yeah.
You know, and that's maybe got him to where he's in, you know. But could Cody maybe go against Marlon Moraes next?
Moraes. Potentially, that'd be some fight.
That
actually,
would
man.
be like,
That's
I
a
would
scary
be,
fight.
that's a scary fight. They're both quick. They've both got hands. That would be a crazy fight. I don't think there's any great matches up, like great matchups to go, yeah, this will be an easy walkthrough for him right now.
Anyone in the top 10's a dangerous fight for anyone.
Corey Sanhagen's now coming off a loss, so that'll be him. He's just obviously Peter Yan's fighting for the title.
What about the Munoz rematch? Pedro Munoz.
Oh,
That could be
that
an
is a
interesting one.
very good point actually, because Pedro Munoz is ranked 7. Do you think that Garbrandt will go above that now? Do you think he'll be put above?
Because he's beaten obviously a Sunset.
And then obviously Pedro.
It's the way he finished the fight, man.
Aye, it was a statement.
It was unreal.
It was a statement piece. I think he looks like he's back for.
Aye.
I think he's now going to make his way up for the title. I guess he probably shouldn't be put in with anyone too crazy to begin with. I think it is one of those things that sometimes you can come back. Just give him like one or two more fights where he can.
No need to rush. He was only 28.
Exactly, get back into it, and I can definitely see him being champion again. To be honest,
I can see that.
I
can actually see Sean O'Malley being champion.
Aye, I think again, he doesn't need to be champion this year. Do you know what I mean, he doesn't need to have those fights to be
I think
champion
he's the
this
kind
year.
of guy though that would want to push his title shot.
I think he will. I think that was already a good step up for Sean O'Malley. And I think it's got to be a top 10 guy next.
Oh, aye.
And then that will really test, okay, what can he look that amazing against a top 10 guy?
I think he can. I think the answer's yes.
See if he looks that good against someone in the top 10. That's just going to be incredible. It's just going to be mental.
He's one to watch.
He has one to watch.
I'm definitely a fan of O'Malley.
Massive fan. What do you think of
The
the hair?
Sugar Show. I liked it.
The hair was decent.
It was class.
That was a class haircut.
it was really
Do you know what I mean,
cool.
that was, the colours were
I
mental.
like things like that, just proper different.
Yeah, he's got
That's just helping him
confidence.
stand out. People were asking
The
questions.
face
about him.
tattoos and all that sort of
Aye.
stuff. He's aye.
He's a flashy guy. Isn't
He is a flashy guy. He is.
Which I love.
Connor was the same.
He
Connor
was
was the
exactly
same when he
the
came in.
I
Connor,
think you could do with getting a bit more trashy on the mic. No, not trashy on the mic, but
yeah, you want him to
calling people out
talk
a
a
bit
bit more
more, man.
trash. Yeah, he's not.
Did he call anyone out his last fight now? What was
Did
it
he?
he said?
Did he? He was just extremely Henry Cejudo. Did he not call out Henry Cejudo?
Oh, he said he's the reason Cejudo's retired.
Aye, that's it. Yeah,
Aye.
exactly. Which is a bit
Well,
of
I
a trash
guess, aye,
talking,
I
to be
take that
honest.
statement back,
And he's saying Henry Cejudo's got his first girlfriend, so he's off. Do you know what I mean?
That's it.
So he's got a wee bit of trash talk. He's just kind of got the coming into that fight like he was fighting someone that has got a lot of experience, and he just had that kind of like arrogance, but like a kind of a good type of arrogance.
the
Do you know what I mean?
confidence.
Like the just real confidence that Connor had coming into these
Yeah.
fights, and I don't think it's false either. I
No,
think it's
definitely
like.
not. He backs it up.
I think it kind of proves by the way he just walked away from that knockout. It was like, yeah, I expected it. It's not a massive relief that I've
He
just
wasn't
done
shocked
that.
by it.
It was, yeah, that's
Aye.
what I can do.
Yeah.
So no, he is. I think he's going to be. Mark our words. He's definitely going to be bigger than every single one of these stars right now in the
100%.
bantamweight division,
No
and
question.
he is going to bring a lot of eyes to the sport. I think.
I think he's probably got the ability to move up weight class as well if he wants to.
Yeah, he's big. He's quite skinny still, isn't he?
Ah, he is.
Because he's got quite a height. To be that skinny, it's like to have that height in the and be in the bantamweight division. It is. It's quite rare, which I think is going to take him far. I think he needs to stay in the bantamweight division, so that because he knows how to use that height and range. I think that's what makes him so good in that division.
Yeah.
When he goes up, say he did go up, he is going to start going against people like
they've got quite similar styles. Him as a beat.
Yeah, even like when you think about it, Max Holloway, he's tall and lengthy for that division. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think you do become good if you know how to use those attributes that you've got.
100%.
But yeah, I think as he grows older, he might go up. He might end up going up. But
so.
no, it was amazing. I mean, great card, to be honest with you.
It definitely delivered.
It did. Obviously, we go into the main card now. Everyone kind of knows what to expect in those types like that. Main event.
Humongous underdog, Felicia Spencer.
Yeah, one of the biggest in a long time. But I guess who she was going up against was Amanda Nunes, which created a wee bit of history. That night it was the first double champ to actually defend
both the belts.
So I think that's what the big kind of deal was. I was hoping.
Did Cejudo not do it?
Cejudo, did he defend both? I don't know if he defended both. I'm not too sure. I think that's what they're
saying.
They're making a big deal about Amanda Nunes at the moment for obviously defending both titles.
Right, okay.
But yeah, so Felicia Spencer, I was hoping would maybe do a wee bit more.
She looks nice, doesn't she, man?
Yeah.
But I mean,
I wasn't wanting to
see everywhere she went, she just looked like
Oh,
unbelievable.
It's actually
like different league.
It's quite unreal, isn't it?
It's so obvious like how much better she is than everyone.
It's like the grappling. She's like, because that's where they thought maybe Felicia Spencer would maybe have some sort of edge, and that's where they'd need to take the fight. But in the grappling,
she had nothing.
Nunez was all over it.
Literally
striking,
nothing.
Nunez unbelievable on the ground, unbelievable. It's like genuinely, it's just between Amanda Nunes and then the rest of any girl fighters in the UFC in either divisions. It's just,
I think the only one that would compete with her is Shevchenko, but she's beaten her twice already. So
and no one's really interested
in seeing that.
The second one, I think the second one they're saying was the closest, and some people could have said it was Shevchenko's decision. Could have went either way.
Right.
But yeah, I don't think Dana White's already said that he's not even interested in making that fight. Which is
understandable.
It's understandable. I think it's going to take a wee while before someone comes. I think because there's no one.
She's a beast.
She's an absolute beast. She is an absolute beast, and she just dominated absolutely everywhere, you know. And so yeah, that was kind of to be as expected.
Yeah.
And I don't see anyone like. I mean, I guess see when she was fighting Cyborg, that's where I thought, okay, this could be one of the biggest challenges. Another heavy hitter. Cyborg has got strength.
Yeah.
She's got the boxing. That could have been a challenge, and she just. She blew that out of the water. It was quite unbelievable.
It was phenomenal. It's hard to get excited for her fights, man. I wasn't even that interested in watching that fight.
I think that's I thought
because you know how good she is. She's not going to have any
challenge really.
That's it.
Like I was with you on that one. I wasn't overly excited about it, to be honest, because I was just thinking,
she's going to make it look easy.
Yeah, she's going to make it look easy. And she did. She did make it look easy.